Well, change of uniform. I have a couple of meetings to do this morning, so I'm actually showered and dressed and shaved and everything. But today is day 8, and I have still not touched any video games. Haven't been high at all. Have been maintaining the cold turkey experience. Um, where I'm at currently is in terms of physically. I am. I did have some sweats last night. Actually, I put a humidifier in my room with the lung issues that I've been having. It's recommended that you increase the humidity a little bit if it's dry, and with it being winter at the moment, it is quite dry in our rooms. So I've put a humidifier in there, and that changed the atmosphere, I think, a little bit. And then on top of that, we ate dinner very late last night, so um, I was flashing or flailing around, thrashing around, flashing, flailing around in bed, trying to figure out what the heck was going on. So um, anyway, so physically, that's where I'm at. The dreams aren't as vivid as they were for those last couple of days. Those things are starting to peter off, which is nice. And yeah, I think where I'm at now, though, is it's the physicality of it is starting to sort of slide into the more mental part of it, which is now going to be the greatest mountain to overcome when it comes to quitting these types of things. And um, I haven't really had enough time to feel withdrawy. I know that's not a real word, but I haven't really had enough time by myself or away from my partner, or not doing something productive work-wise, or reading a book, or getting a meal, or going to the gym. I've actually not had that much time to really think about it, and when I have thought about it, it's been kind of easy to just pick up a book. And when I say pick up a book, I don't mean pick up a book and start reading Lord of the Rings, or not that I'm denigrating Lord of the Rings, of course. It's a fantastic book, a world-class piece of literature, but nothing escapist so much as more like biographies and self-help, or things that you can learn from. So that's where I'm at, and I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. There's a lot of other things that are supporting me in this. I had a friend come over yesterday, and we chatted about these types of things, and he mentioned that seeing me do these things helped him question the decisions that he was making in his life as well. So my intention of being kind of like an unintentional example is kind of working, and that makes me happy, because it's not something that I'm doing to try to get credit or views or likes for. I'm doing it for myself, but I'm hoping that the behavior coming out is exemplary for others, so that if they see an aspect of it that they like, that they can pick it up and run with it. And with my friends, that's the first group that you have contact with. That's the first group that you're gonna affect. Today I actually have therapy for the first time since I started. I don't really know if I should call it therapy. It's more like counseling. And in the last couple of months, it's really more just been conversations. But I have a person who I talk to about issues, who's given me some good advice, and who's asked a lot of good questions. And I guess that's where I'd like to kind of leave the thought of the day at today. If you're quitting video games and you're struggling, if you're struggling to find things to do, if you're struggling to because of self-esteem reasons, if you're struggling because your brain's telling you that you need it, or that you can't seem to overcome the boredom, you can't get that momentum to get out of the rut and start into something new. In fact, if you're quitting anything that you think has been doing you damage in your life, my suggestion is to go see a counselor if you can. And if you can't, try to find someone that you can talk to about these things that you respect. Find someone that you respect, whether it's a teacher or a parent, or an older person in your life. It's been super useful for me in my sort of month to month life, having someone who I can talk to, who asks good questions and gets you to kind of examine your behavior and your actions, and particularly your speech. One of the things that this person did for me most was they caused me to question the way that I talked about myself, and where I had been using words to label myself in ways that kind of justified what I was doing. even though they were negative labels, those labels were what I used to punish myself with when I was acting out. And I found, after having examined the words that I used and changed them, that my behavior started to change, because I was trying to, my subconscious maybe was trying to align itself with the reality that I was putting forth into the world. So definitely get yourself a counselor. That's some of the best advice I can give. And I liken it to going to the gym and not knowing what you're doing. You would get a personal trainer. If you try to like work out a muscle that's sore and you don't know what you're doing, you would go see a physiotherapist. When your car's not working, if you don't know how to work on a car, you would go to a mechanic. So similarly, this kind of applies in that way, and it's like a mechanic for your brain, really. You're sort of just getting like a 1 month touch up. Anyway, regardless, that's really all I have for today. Like I said, I'm feeling pretty good, and staying busy has helped a lot with ignoring the quitting. So for those of you out there who are watching, if anyone ever watches this, stick with it and get yourself some help. Get a support system. Get someone in who can get you to question the way that you talk about the world and the way you shape your reality, so that you can start to shape it in a way that's more conducive, more compatible with the reality that you want.